Making your boom bap beats sound more serious using orchestral samples. We're going to be using Rza as our inspiration, so let's get into it. So the template we're going to use for this is the Flatbush Zombies Plug Addict, which was produced by the Rza, and it sounds a little bit like this. I just pulled the stems out so you can hear the strings, because that's what we're going to be focusing on, right? And this is a crazy, crazy beat, man. You really should study this beat, man. For one, the loop is, I believe the loop is around 11 measures. So it's not the typical 4 or 8 bar loop. It's like 11 bars, which is crazy. So wherever you get your classical samples, if you get them from vinyl, you can get them from the internet, whatever, MIDI, all kinds of sources. Wherever you get them from. I went to Apple Loops. I'm using Logic, and I just found this loop right here. Orchestral Strings 18. Check it out. And we're going to use this loop. This is a 16 bar loop, but you could consider it an 8 bar loop if you cut it in half time. Here's the formula. You're going to create 3 parts. One part is going to have 2 bars, another part is going to have 1 bar, and the third part is going to have 2 bars. Now let me explain. And I color coded this so it can make sense. As you can see, this red section, all these represent the 2 bar loops. These are all 2 bars. I'm going to show you what I did. Right there, just that much. Just this. It's 2 bars. So I copied that 3 times. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 bar loops. And then for the second part, I had this, which is only 1 bar. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that's just 1 bar. So the third part is going to be another 2 bars, represented by this green color. And that sounds like this. Another 2 bars, but a third section. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See that? So let me show you the chops so this can make sense. I got 3 parts. The red, the blue, and the green. First part, 2 bar loop. Then you're going to repeat that because you're going to do that a total of 4 times. Right? This is the third time around. 2 bars. 4th time. Now we're going to go to the second section, which is the blue, for 1 bar. 1. Third section. 2 bars. Green. So now you have a total of 11 bars. Does that make sense? This is why Rza is ahead of his time, man. This is crazy. So now let's go over the drums. The drums is crazy too. And I got the stem for that. Because he actually switches the drums. Listen to this. Did you hear that? So let's break down the drums. The drums, you're going to have 3 patterns. The first pattern, you got 1 bar. And the second pattern, you have 2 bars that repeats 4 times. The third pattern is going to be for 2 bars. Now, the first and the third pattern is going to have different drums than the second pattern, all right? And also, they're going to have a percussion sound. So it kind of makes it sound different. Let's listen. This is the first bar. And it goes to the beat. This is a 2 bar loop right here. 2 bar loop right here. See that? Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Repeats that. Then when you get to the end of that loop, check out what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. All right. So the drums changes back, and that makes it sound crazy by the time it loops back over again. So we use that as our template, and I'm actually still working on it. I haven't even finished what I was doing. What I have so far is just the first and the third part. And I'll have links to everything that I'm using in the description below if you're interested. Check it out. That's going to be part 1. All right, it's 3 parts to these drums. This is going to be part 2. That's 2 bars. Now everything else, which is going to be my third pattern, is just going to be another 2-bar loop that repeats how many times? We say it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's create another pattern using different drums. So we doing boom bap, guys. So we just going to do like a straight boom bap beat. So that will be our other 2-bar loop. Like we said, one pattern is going to be 1 bar. Pattern 2 is going to be 2 bars, which is going to be this one. And the third pattern, which is at the end, is going to be another 2 bars. So now let's copy this. And the reason I color coded this was so you could see the difference. So now let's just copy this, right? We got that second part 4 times. 1 bar loop, 2 bar loop, copied. Last bar, which is 2 bars. Third pattern. Got it? Let's play that with strings. Listen to the change. Right? It's repeating. And then let me skip to the end. Now it's going to change up. Listen. It's kind of like a breakdown, right? Back to the top. All right, so now let's add a bass line. Actually, I already added a bass line, and the key with the bass line is you're going to keep it minimal but impactful. In other words, not a whole lot of notes, but strong enough to support the sample. What I did with the bass line was this. I would say this is like on that Wu-Tang type bass line. Not a whole lot of notes. And I'm following the sample. See what I'm saying? Super basic, super basic. When I get to the end, again, I'm following the chords. That's it. Another important piece in the orchestra is a piano. So I added a piano part. So I played these chords right here. Now notice there's a little dissonance. Super easy minor chords. What makes it dissonant is adding this bottom note right here. Right? See, that's all it is. And then at the end, another clash. Listen to this. So that's how you get that dissonant sound, which makes your beat sound more serious, trust me, like more dramatified. Now, for extra spice, I wanted to add one more sound since we're talking about orchestral samples. And by the way, I don't know if the Rza actually used an orchestra sample. He might have did all this from scratch using just like orchestral patches or whatever, or synthesizers. I'm not sure. Anyway, I wanted to add a cello to this. And we're going to keep it simple. Let's do this. Just following the bass line. Listening to those strings are a little dry, but we're going to add some reverb to it. Just simple boom. See how much more cinematic that sounds? Just adding reverb to it. Use a reverb of your choice. And this is what it sounds like all together. See how the drums change? Got the strings going, got the drums going, the bass going, and the piano. Great. makes it so crazy is the beginning of the drum loop, because it sounds like a breakdown. And that's because I use different sounds for the drums. That's what makes this beat sound crazy, in my opinion. So that is a dope way to use as a template to make your beat sound more serious. You know, rather than just a typical 4-bar or 2-bar loop, you know. Use this as a formula. Again, Rza was and still is ahead of his time, man. I've always said that Rza is in my top 3 hip hop producer influences. It's been like that for years. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. It's your man JFILT. If you like videos like this, check this out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm sending peace and positive energy. Yeah.